Please take your seats if you're planning to stay for the remainder of the meeting. We're going to restart the next half of our board meeting. Okay, we're going to be on item number, item number, I'm sorry. Okay. Item number 7 is report to the month of November 2019. First report will come from Chief Gleason. Please report.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I shut it off, I'm sorry.
When we were talking.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For the month of November, the West Goshen Police Department responded to 1,942 calls for service. We responded to 69 alarms, 7 of which were valid. We investigated 26 reportable motor vehicle accidents and 65 non-reportable motor vehicle accidents, and we logged 20,453 miles on our patrol vehicles. Among other locations, selective enforcement was active on Phoenixville Pike, Goshen Road, Falcon Lane, Rosary Lane, Oxford Road, Pottstown Pike, and South Balmer Street. Career development continues with our emergency response team monthly training. Our detectives attended a Reed interview training course. Officer Grandizio conducted standardized field sobriety testing at the Chester County Public Safety Training Center, and he also completed the 12-week program for command and leadership, sponsored by the Newcastle County Police Department. Sergeant Greiser attended this reconstruction seminar. The entire department completed our TASER defensive tactics training, and our negotiators training for our ERT team also completed their monthly training. Two public service announcements, if I may. The police department is implementing a surveillance camera registry, and what we are asking, it's completely voluntary for residents that may have cameras outside of their property, like viewing their front lawns, viewing their side lawns, their driveways, or whatever. We are asking potentially for you to go on our website and register your cameras, so that if there is a criminal incident that may occur in your neighborhood, your camera may inadvertently assist us in solving that crime. So what our intention is to register the cameras, and then that information will be available to our criminal investigation unit. So if there is a burglary in your neighborhood and we are aware that you have a camera, we would ask you to review your footage, and if there's something that is helpful for us, then we would come and look it over and possibly assist your neighbors in completing, investigating a crime and solving a crime for us. It's completely voluntary. We're not looking at the Big Brother aspect of this. This is strictly you registering your cameras with us, so we are aware of it, and we may pick up the phone and give you a call and say, there was a burglary 2 days ago, 2 houses down. Could you check your surveillance video for us and see if there's anything that might be helpful? And then with that information, what we intend on doing is doing a PIN map for our officers, our criminal investigation unit, to be aware of the cameras that are registered, so that we can reach out to you. But again, it is completely voluntary. There's no mandate for you to turn over anything to us, but you might be assisting your neighbors in the process of doing so. And then on behalf of the Chester County Department of Emergency Services, on December 11th, they announced that the Chester County Department of Community Development is announcing that on Thursday, December 12th, a new 211 system, the phone system, has been implemented to assist in the homeless coordination entry call. So if you know somebody that is experiencing homelessness through domestic violence, through financial challenges or whatever, they can pick up the phone, call 211, and the county agencies will assist them in getting through the difficulties and at least possibly finding temporary housing for them and so forth. So I will put that information on our website as well. Thank you.
Thank you. The next report will be given by Andrea Testa as Fire Marshal, reporting on Goshen Fire Company and Good Fellowship Ambulance Company. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. For the month of November, there were a total of 34 inspections. 3 commercial use and occupancy, 4 walkthrough, 9 sprinkler, 1 framing, 5 fire alarm, 6 residential finals, 2 fire extinguisher placements, 4 fire blocking, and 1 fire hydrant. There were a total of 6 fire calls, 1 house fire, 3 fire alarms, 1 odor investigation, and 1 appliance fire. I locked up 1 Knox box, attended 1 fire drill, and also attended 40 hours of training on commercial building inspections. The Good Fellowship Ambulance had 125 calls for the month, and Westchester Fire Department had 20 calls for the month. Thank you.
Thank you. The next report will be given by Building Official John Beswick.
Good evening. For the month of November, there was a total of 97 permits, 13 building, 11 electrical, 4 fire protection, 25 HVAC, 6 plumbing, 6 roofing, 9 zoning, and 16 use and occupancies, 6 E&S, and 1 road occupancy. The estimated cost of construction was $2,774,174, and the permit fees were $30,541.85. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll turn to item number 8, approval of the Board of Supervisors meeting minutes of November 19, 2019.
Madam Chair, actually I have a couple of, Sean was nice enough to point out a couple of errors in the minutes, so if I can go those quickly. Page 1, down below the 2020 budget's key financial highlights, we're actually moving from 2 to 3% for the pension contributions, non-uniform. And I do want to have finance check the second page. Bless you. The 2020 all fund summary. I just want to have them check the sewer fund ending fund balance just to verify that it's correct. And I also want to, Sean suggested, which I agree with me, I want to move this table actually back to, bless you, I guess page 5, down at the 2020 budget discussion continued. If you remember, we moved back into the budget discussion during the regular meeting. I believe those are the changes.
So what will you do? Will you revise these?
I'll revise the minutes based on those changes.
And repost them?
Yes, repost them. And I'll submit them.
Say we could approve with those.
Yes, absolutely, yes.
Definitely. I'd move that we approve them with those noted corrections. I'll second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any public comment on the meeting minutes from November 19, 2019? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
The next item is item 7, November 30th, 2019, Treasurer's Report approval. It's number 9, sorry.
Revised now.
I had to go back and forth. It's number 9. Do I have a motion to approve the Treasurer's Report? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Anyone in the audience who has public comment on the Treasurer's Report? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Okay. Board of Supervisors announcements. We haven't mentioned it at this meeting, correct? Just the last meeting, and that's in the video.
Yes.
Okay, good. So that's not true. I do have one other announcement. No, actually, that's fine. I'm done. Anyone else have any announcements? Yes, Mr. Walsh.
So it's just a repeat of the announcement I made last month about the fact that the work that we commissioned as collected with other municipalities under the Westchester Area Council of Governments on the renewable energy study is planned to be presented at a public meeting, a public Council of Governments meeting on January the 16th, I believe at 7 p.m. at the West Whiteland Township building. And I would strongly encourage anyone who's got an interest in renewable energy, some of the things that we could do at a township level, to come to that meeting and have input and be part of the discussion around what you think the future could look like, and to understand further the work that we've had done in this space. So if you have a chance to go, please go.
I'm sorry, can you tell me the date again?
It's Thursday, January the 16th at 7 p.m. at the West Wyman Township Building.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to thank Sean for the extra work that he did on the budget on our behalf.
Great, thank you. Thank you for sharing your perspective, as always. Okay, we're going to move on. No other announcements by township supervisors, so Mr. Lalonde.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, everything to everybody. Just to reiterate, we will be having a special meeting on January 13th to deliberate, the board to deliberate on the Mr. Gelly's replacement. That was announced earlier. Other than that, Saturday's yard waste cleanup. Have it curbside by 6 a.m. That's it. Thank you very much. This Saturday. No. It was last Saturday. I'm sorry. Last Saturday. I'm sorry. I apologize. Last Saturday. So, we're done. No, sir. That was the last one.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are there going to be any announcements from the township engineer?
Just one.
Extension? Okay.
Woodlands at Greystone. We try to do an update every month. The flashing signals at Pottstown Pike and Phoenixville Pike will be turned on tomorrow per PennDOT. So they will become live signals. Pottstown Pike, Phoenixville Pike, intersections with Aram Avenue. Now, Aram Avenue is still not a public street. We have not dedicated it. We don't intend to till spring. But they have not closed up the road. So use at your own peril. It's not a township street. It's private property still, but the lights will be on at least starting tomorrow morning per PennDOT.
I went through there tonight and I was late.
Yeah, tomorrow morning. Yeah, they'll be on just actual active tomorrow morning. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do they have trip wires on the side streets?
We dictate cameras now instead of tripwires.
Whatever.
Yeah, so they are fully PennDOT prescribed.
So they have a
detection. Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yep. Thank you very much.
Okay, item number 13 is zoning officer's announcements. Mr. Webb.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The zoning hearing board did meet on December 4th. They heard 3 cases, 2 of which were for Mr. Khan at 704 East Market and his other property at 700 East Market. Both were signed applications. And they also heard the application from Ryan Holmes for temporary signage. The zoning hearing board is going to render decisions on those matters on January 9th, which leads me to my next thing. Let's keep this going strong. Application number 22 of 2019 will be heard on January 9th. This is a rather simple application. As everyone's aware, Payne Celestial is closed. That has been purchased by a company who is going to refit that building into storage units. So they are coming before the zoning hearing board under section 84-38A, paren 16, paren C, to allow them retail sales as an accessory use. Within the I zoning districts, they're required a special exception to be able to have a retail component. This only allows for no more than 10% of their sales to be retail. This would be basically because anyone who has a storage unit also sells boxes, standard moving supplies. So that application is going to be heard on January 9th here at 7 p.m. Finally, I want to thank the board for your continued support of your non-uniform staff and education. I graduated from Westchester with my master's degree in public administration last Friday night. So I want to thank the board for your continued
Now, I have one question for you on the Celestine's property. What about the beach
So we've actually spoken to the developer. That was one of the first things we brought
That
up.
was the first question. First question to the developer.
They
Absolutely.
they are going to subdivide that piece off
Yeah.
and give it to the township.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So, just to expand on that,
Yeah.
we need to figure out if that's going to impede on their property at all as far as their rights to do any sort of development for the storage. Because I was talking to their lawyer today, and they just want to be 100% clear that that's not going to be an issue.
It's by right use.
It was a by right use that's not going to require land development. And the outdoor parking area that is being used for outdoor storage is an existing parking
I
area.
think the biggest thing was any kind of green space or setbacks or anything like that.
I think with it being an existing, none
That's
of
an
that would
existing
be.
parcel,
Yeah.
redeveloped.
Because that's, the beach is actually pretty partially on them.
I believe the Beach Street is on a distinct parcel.
It is. It's in.
So they would pay that to the township for $1, right, $1, and then, yeah, take care of it. It's compared to the tree.
When we met with them, that was our first question.
Absolutely.
We said the historic commission will
Yeah.
want that beach.
We
Well,
want the tree.
that was also a Boy Scout, Eagle Scout project some years ago for the signage and all, and the registration of that as a witness tree.
But I have nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, item number 14, discussion and possible approval of ordinance number 12-2019, establishing speed limits on various township streets.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Now we'll open the record for this evening's third public hearing. We will conduct the public hearing as part of the regularly scheduled advertised public meeting to consider the adoption of an amendment to Chapter 78 of the West Goshen Township Code, regulating and titled Vehicles and Traffic. The title and summary of the proposed ordinance is as follows. An ordinance of the Township of West Goshen, Chester County, Pennsylvania, amending Chapter 78 of the Code of West Goshen Township, entitled Vehicles and Traffic, specifically Section 78-12, to increase the speed limit from 15 to 25 miles per hour on certain streets in the township. By way of ordinance amendment, introduction, and background, on October 15th of this year, the Board of Supervisors adopted Resolution 17 of 2019 for the modification of speed limits on certain township roadways. In order for such modifications to take formal and enforceable effect, the township must officially adopt an ordinance. The proposed ordinance amendment would increase the speed limit from 15 miles per hour, which is currently unenforceable, to 25 miles per hour on the following streets: Delancey Place, Glen Avenue, Lincoln Avenue, Meeting House Lane, Patrick Avenue, Penn Lane, and Roberts Lane. The identified portions of those roadways where the speed limit will take effect are specified in the ordinance amendment. By way of hearing exhibits, I'd like to introduce and admit into the hearing record 3 exhibits, namely Exhibit B1, a proof of publication in the Daily Local News on December 9th, 2019. Exhibit B2, a letter dated December 9th, 2019 to the Chester County Law Library, providing requisite ordinance for public inspection. Exhibit B3, a letter of that same date, December 9th, 2019 to the Daily Local News, again providing the proposed ordinance amendment for public inspection. At this time, I'd ask if there are any questions or comments from members of the board. Hearing none, are there any comments or questions from members of the public?
Yes, John Allen, Westchester. I live on Penn Lane, one of these roads that are being considered here in this ordinance. Been here for about 30-some odd years, living in the township, and raised 3 kids. And when they were growing up, the kids played street hockey out front, touch football. I mean, that's what we did. You know, I mean, it's part of the neighborhood. And it's great being able to look out your window to see where they were. just a good feeling of the community. Going from 15 mile an hour to 25 may not seem like a big deal, but it can be. You only need one person going down there at a quick rate of speed to cause an accident. I understand the legal requirements here. I get that. You can't enforce a law less than 25 mile an hour in our areas. But I would ask the police department and the township to consider other measures that could be taken, engineering measures, whether it be lines painted on the side of the road or lines in the middle of the road or something like that to create a behavior change of people driving on these roads that make up our community. I would ask that the township take that into consideration and to move in that direction as well. All right, thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Does anyone else want to speak on this?
Would it be in order to make a motion to adopt the ordinance at this point?
Sure, hearing none.
Then we go for discussion.
Sure, we can. However you'd
Did
like
we
to
make a
proceed.
motion and
No,
a
you
second
could-
yet?
you could- no, we did not. So you can do that process first and then we'll go.
Okay,
Yes.
so I'll make the motion that we currently adopt the ordinance number 12-2019.
Public comment, is that
Give me a
yours?
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I heard you.
Sean's second.
All right, Dr. White, come on up.
Your turn.
The West Goshen Township, I agree with John. I understand that we've got to change those signs. When I drive down there in Glen Acres, I see this 50 mile an hour sign. I slow down. I drive slow anyway, so anyway. But yes, go ahead and adopt this. But put, Chief Gleason also see what you can do to put some traffic calming measures there. Thank you.
So I think this issue of traffic speeds in neighborhoods is a real problem now. As I canvassed to be elected to the board here over the summer, I don't think I went to a single neighborhood where there wasn't a lot of complaints about traffic speed through the neighborhood. A lot of neighborhoods are being used as cut-throughs. We heard about it earlier at one of the other topics tonight. The issue here, I understand, like John said, about the legal nature being able to enforce it. I do think as part of the plans for next year, we should look at some kind of special meeting that you still have as an idea. But we look at individual neighborhoods in some kind of sequence, and we have some kind of brainstorming with engineers, with traffic safety, with the police, with the residents, to look to what specific solutions in each neighborhood might be most effective, because it is a real problem in this township.
I got one.
Okay, come on up.
Yeah, my name's Steve Soley. I live at 544 High Top Road. I've been living there since 1969. And speaking of traffic, on High Top and Gateway, I don't know how it would be done, but if you could check it out, there should be a stop sign there. Because I've been there for 50 years, and people are coming up there, and I swear some of them are doing 40 miles an hour. And it's like, right there at High Top and Gateway, it's bad. Really bad. So I just would make a proposal to you folks to, like, with the traffic, to just check into that and look at it, maybe through the engineering. Thank you.
Very good, thank you for your comment.
I was going to say, I find most of the ones that I see are our own neighbors that are running the streets too fast. So we invite them to the meetings and I don't know if they're good or not.
I can tell you right now, I live in North Hill, and I asked for some extra patrols up there, and I think there were 2 citations issued. I don't know exactly. The officer I dealt with said that he had issued citations, or possibly they were warnings, I don't know. But as soon as the word got out in the neighborhood that there was a cop up there writing tickets, everything slowed down.
That's right.
We will gladly have it back once a month.
Get in line, sir.
So I just have a question about the handle that we have here. Does this mean that all roads that have been 15 miles are now at 25, or this is the total population that are being affected?
Yes, you approved this same list by resolution a few months ago.
Right.
But new solicitor thought is to do this automatically as an ordinance. So anytime traffic division or township engineer comes forward with new, if we do see a need to change speed limits, we'll just do it by ordinance right away.
You could do it by resolution for a 90-day time frame, but then to actually have the police enforce it has to be through the ordinance.
Right. So we'll just probably go right to ordinance automatically.
Okay.
We do it infrequently.
So the next item.
We need a vote.
Oh, need a vote, sorry. Thank you.
Sure. We did.
There was a motion.
Okay.
Motion is second.
Any other public
Okay.
comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
So number 15 was voted on during our budget meeting. So we don't need to move on to number 16 now.
16.
Yep. We also enacted the resolution, or voted on the resolution 21, 2019, establishing the 2020 real estate tax millage at 2 mills. Yep. Discussion and possible approval of 2020 fuel bid opened on December 13th, 2019.
Yes, this is an annual housekeeping item. We go out to bid every year for our various fuels. I'll go through the list. We had two vendors submit bids. Again, open December 12th, 2019 at 10:15 a.m. We go out to bid for 4 different items: unleaded gasoline, bio, clear, ultra-low sulfur diesel. Both of those go into our fuel island for our trucks and for our township vehicles, police vehicles. Low sulfur heating oil, and then dyed ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel. Those are for our various generators. We received bids on 3 of the 4 items. We did not receive any bids for the low sulfur heating oil because of we only use it in one location, which is the Park Shack right up the street. We did used to use it at the sewer plant for the digester building. We used to use copious amounts, as Sean knows, of heating oil for that to run the digester, but that is a brand new facility, so we don't need any down there. So we're just going to do it on an as-needed basis for the Park Shack. We shouldn't use more than a couple $100 a year. So it's not a problem if we didn't get a bid. The prevailing bidder with the low bid was Riggins Incorporated from New Jersey, I believe. The other bidder was Riley & Sons for unleaded gasoline for our fuel island, 1.7781 cents per gallon. BioClear ultra-low sulfur diesel, again for the fuel island, 2.0963. Low sulfur heating oil, no bids. And the dyed ultra-low sulfur diesel fuel for our generators, 2.2908 per gallon. And we're recommending approval.
Do we only get more than 2 bids?
Lately, no. I mean, our requirements are very strict, especially about snowstorms. They have to be here within 2 hours of our request to be here to fuel us up. Most places can't, most suppliers can't even come close to doing that. So this is typically what we get on an annual basis.
Are the prices similar to last year?
The prices fluctuate.
Yeah.
We pay rack price. We're basically just paying for the transportation.
Right.
We're paying anywhere 2 to 4 cents a gallon on average
Right.
for transportation.
And again, we're tax-free, so that drives our price down a little bit.
Make a motion that we adopt the ratings
I'll second that.
on the unleaded gasoline, bio, clear, ultra-low sulfur diesel, and the dyed ultra-low sulfur diesel.
Any public comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay, now we're going to open up for public comment. Anyone want to come forward with something on their mind? raise your hand, you can come up. Dr. White, come on up.
Just like to thank Chris Pielli again for his hard work and service to the township. And thank you all for your hard work on the budget and everything else.
Thank you, Ed. This is Ed's last meeting.
And then also, I think you will always be here because you're just going to be here. Yeah. Thank you, Ed, also.
Did you want to come up?
Allow him to speak, the resident.
Yes.
So we're not doing it.
Okay.
It's your decision to.
Yeah. I, as the chair of the board, have authorized this gentleman to speak on behalf of an initiative he is following.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here on my own volition, like the chairperson announced, and I've been communicating with Mr. Lalonde as well. And I'm from Alverson, Pennsylvania, part of Honeybrook Township. My supervisor from Honeybrook Township is sitting here, John McHugh. Way back in September, I presented to his board possible contaminated wells where I live in Alverson. And about 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that meeting, I was asked for help from the Euclid Township residents regarding the Sunoco pipeline. And I spoke to quite a few residents who wanted my help. And I decided to give it a lot of research over about 8 weeks now. I reached out to a good professor at State College, Penn State, who is subject matter expert in soil, microbiology, and science. And she's been communicating with me regularly on a weekly basis regarding this. I've also sat with the Senator Dinniman's office, and I've reached out to Senator Killian as well. One of the 8 townships that I have spoken to, Middleton Township, which is in Delaware County, and the Sunoco engineers were present. I had to defer my presentation because there was a hot topic going on. And at that meeting, that evening, there was a resident, her name was Rosemary, who asked for my help. She wrote several times to officials and senators for assistance with her contaminated well in Middleton, and no response. So I wrote to, I called Senator Killian's office and spoke to a staff member to see if they can assist Rosemary. And after I sent an email, after speaking with the staff person named John, they contacted Rosemary within an hour. And Rosemary was very elated that I offered my assistance, and the Senator Killian's office is looking into her situation with the contaminated well.
I need to interrupt for just one moment. Because you came in late, you don't know about our rules, which is about a 2-minute time to speak.
Right.
So we're going to grant you another minute if you could.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. What I'd like to offer, if any of the residents would like my name or email or contact information for any of the individuals that I've sat with, including the district attorney, I've sat with his office, and any of the senators, staff people, or the professors' information. I'll be glad to give your board or the residents here my contact information if they need help regarding contaminated wells.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation.
You're welcome.
Any other public comment? Yes, sir, please come up.
just have a quick question for Jason. I received a letter from you. My name is Leonard Andrew. I live at intersection of Boot Road and Green Hill Road.
Yes.
And in regards to the widening of Boot Road.
It's not a widening, it's just restriping the surface.
Okay. But it says here that you may have core drilling rigs on my property and heavy equipment that I have to allow to go on there. It doesn't mean that your property has been selected, but like they want to, the entry is authorized by the Pennsylvania Eminent Domain Code. So
that is a standard. That's a letter from, not it's from me, but it's a standard PennDOT letter.
Okay.
That's only within PennDOT right of way. We wouldn't enter your completely private property for any reason. But since you received that letter, PennDOT has approved the project, so we shouldn't have to do any bore borings at all.
Okay.
On the street. Absolutely not.
And it says that what is being considered is between Green Hill Road and Wilson Road, and since I'm north of that.
Correct. You won't have any issues.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Is there anyone else with their hand up?
If I could make a comment on that, supporting the effort on the Council of Government. If I could have a
Yes, you have 2 minutes, please.
My name is John McHugh, and I am a Honeybrook Township Supervisor. I'm also a member of the West Winchester County COG. So what I've been doing is reaching out to municipalities across Chester County with the idea that we need to build out several COGs across Chester County. I had a conversation with the Chester County Commissioners, and they said this is a great idea. The advantage, we formed a regional EMS. We have buying power of municipalities joining together. So I would like to reach out across COGs and have the opportunity that when I've spoken to some of the other municipalities, I've had residents say, I like the idea, I think this is an approach that we need to take. So thank you for giving me the time to speak, and I look forward to seeing you in January.
Yes, absolutely, you need to be there because there are some recommendations on that renewable energy that are exciting, but it needs a bit of scale. And that means the more we can get in terms of municipalities in Chester County to leverage buying power, we certainly could potentially go to lower electricity bills for townships and municipalities. And to do that, we need really a Chester County-wide approach to it. So please attend, and I will make a contribution there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Any other public comment? Okay, I'm going to ask before we adjourn for a moment. Okay, quickly. I'm just about to talk about something important.
I'd like to also congratulate Supervisor-elect Ashley Gagne. Welcome, Ashley, next month. Look forward to having a very good collaboration. Thank you, Ashley.
Okay, I just want to say how much I appreciate my board members, and I've been so grateful for your individual contributions to our group and our ability to work across party lines and develop some friendships and learn from each other. And it's been a great experience for me being your chair, and I just want to thank you for giving me that opportunity, as well as the residents. I also want to tell the staff, who you only see when you're in those seats most of the time, once a month, that we really do have the best township, not because of how beautiful it is or all the things that you actually end up doing at the end of the day and what your roles are, but the people who work here have such integrity and are so focused on wanting to do their best and continue to move this township to the highest echelon. And I can't imagine how much it takes out of you every day to do what you do, and wanted to thank you personally. I'm sorry I can't come to the party on Thursday, so I wanted to just get to say it now.
Thank you, Robin.
And thank you.
Good job, Robin.
And thank Kristen and Ryan as well. It's been a great year working with both of you. So thank you. And Derek. He wore that shirt to blend into the wall.
It's not working.
And Mr. Webb, and Mr. Craig, and all our other township officials that help us out. Okay, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good night. Merry Christmas.